Welcome to the Coon Rapids, to the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse and in Coon Rapids for CTN's live coverage of boys high school basketball. Tonight, the Cardinals hosting the Andover Huskies. Joe Young and Howie Shapiro sidelines, and Howie, little technical difficulties to get our evening started. Cardinals cannot afford any technical difficulties on their end of the field.
No, they really can't, and they're coming off a nice win over a section opponent in Cambridge on Sandy on the hardwood at Target Center, and that was a big win for them. They want to see if they can get a little momentum to carry over into this game against Andover. If you remember back, they were in that game early on where they had the lead. If you remember, Andover took that timeout, and they didn't look back after that. They're looking for a little revenge tonight.
Yeah, the Huskies a few spots ahead of the Cardinals in the standings, and as they look at this contest, they know this is a game they have to beat. The teams beneath them, when you're in those 6, 7, 8 spots in the conference, you have to beat those teams that are beneath you.
Yeah, you know, this team in Andover, they've gone 4-4 since that win over Coon Rapids. Coach Ani said this team is playing really well right now, and this would be another opportunity for them to get a W. They've got 7 wins on the season. They'd certainly like to get 8 tonight.
Well, and they've got a number of seniors leading the way. Number one in that is 23, Corbin Johnson, the senior captain.
He's been giving the Cardinals fits for the last couple of years. Johnson had a big night in that first meeting that we did at Andover, 16 points, 6 boards. He really is a thorn in the Cardinals' side. They've got the size underneath. They're going to have to box out well tonight, keep him out from under the basket.
Yeah, nice to have Sam Carver coming back into the lineup, getting time off the bench. Put in 12 points on Saturday at the Target Center. Brandon Pratt stepping up and filling in for injured captain Marcus Rask. He's going to get the start tonight.
Yeah, Marcus, as we remember, had that hard hit to the floor on his head. Hasn't finished the concussion protocol. Coach O'Gork said if there were practice today, he'd be playing. But Brandon Pratt, who we've seen flashes of good play, needs to step up tonight and really play that point guard and move this offense.
Well, in a couple weeks remaining in the schedule for both of these teams, both trying to find a little bit of traction heading to the postseason. And for the Cardinals, it's really been an up and down season as far as in each and every game. It's been a roller coaster ride for Coach Hill.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about a consistency, and Coach Hill's going to be the first one to say it. We have to play well for 2 halves, and we've seen them play well in a half. We've also seen them play poorly in a half, and this is something tonight. They're going to come out. They played 2 really nice halves against Cambridge, and this is an opportunity to see if they can get 2 nice halves here against Anoka tonight.
And as you talked about, the Andover Huskies, 500 since that meeting last month that we were witness to, and trying to keep things going for the Huskies.
Yeah, you know, and Coach Ani said, you know, there's the 1-3-1 that Coon Rapids plays has a tendency to give them fits. They're going to work on that tonight and see what they can do about penetrating, playing well on offense. And you got to remember back to last game, really nice perimeter shooting team.
Well, and last game we did was here, and Coon Rapids came out and had an absolutely dominating first 5 minutes, getting out to a 19-2 lead, but ended up losing that one to Anoka. Here's a look at your starting lineups for the Huskies. Chase Thomas, Joey Lozzi. The forwards are Gunnar Ledeen and Jackson Sutton. The center is Jake Phipps. For the Cardinals,
that was the wrong lineup.
How about Trevor Siebold, Dylan Echtenkamp, Logan Rezak, Corbin Johnson, and Jacob Paul? I was going to say, those sound an awful lot like the Anoka guys that we saw last week. For the Cardinals, Brandon Pratt and Dio Lawal are in the backcourt. Jake Demovic, Tyrion Johnson, the forwards, and Nick Keller is in the post. Andover wins the tip. They have the first possession. Siebold's pass tip taken away by Tyrion Johnson. Waits for some help. Passes into the corner. Dio thought about the shot. Dribbles baseline, now back up, working against Corbin Johnson. Brandon Pratt out near midcourt, high post for Tyrion. Had the ball tipped away and taken by the Huskies. Pass too far, they turn it right back over. It'll be Cardinal ball underneath their own basket.
Well, we saw the quick hands of Tyrion Johnson early, and he has been playing so well as of late. He's so active on both ends of the floor. And they're also going to need him to continue to produce as well.
Well, it was definitely exciting to see both him and Jake Demovic with the evenings they had against Anoka. Too bad that for both of them they had to have such great nights and come up short. Keller, short jump shot, had a little too much on it. Tomovic trying to track down the rebound out off of the Huskies. It'll be Coon Rapids ball.
Oh, yeah, that was an easy call. That one right off number 5. Seabold.
He argued it.
He did argue it.
Won't win that argument. Pratt back to Tyrion on the side into the post for Keller. Keller kicks it back out. Pratt will fire the 3, and it's off the mark. Rebound off the backside by Domovic. Up top for Dial Lawal.
You know, Jake, as you mentioned, another one of those players playing really well as of late, too.
Domovic looked to the baseline, ran into a double team, resets back up top around right side for Dio. Down low for Domovic. Double team comes, stripping it away is Rizak. Rizak will run the floor and score at the other end, the first basket of the evening.
You know, we talked about Trevor Rizak in that first game, and he is an excellent player, maybe the best player on this Andover squad. And the Cardinals held him at bay in that game, I believe. Joe, you would know. You'd have your notes.
For Lawal is off. The rebound by Paul. Pass skips through the hands of Seabold. He can't keep it in. Another turnover by the Huskies early in this one.
Yeah, Trevor Rizak had 9 points in that first contest against Coon Rapids. Cardinals did a nice job of limiting him, and they're going to have to do the same here tonight.
Domovic spins back, pulls up, shot is long, and the rebound by Echtenkamp. Echtenkamp across midcourt. Tipped away by Tyrion. He'll scoop up the loose ball, keep it in bounds on the near side. No, he won't. Ball back to the Huskies.
A little sloppy basketball early on. Really on both sides.
Double team comes in the backcourt. Getting across is Rizak. He splits the defense, drops it down low, and Johnson scores off the glass.
Yeah, and that's what they were doing to him in that first contest, is that Johnson playing so well underneath the basket. And you saw his strength there as it's just the nice feed from Rizak, and easy two-pointer.
Tyrion will take it to the baseline and draw the foul.
First foul of the game.
Foul will go against Corbin Johnson. Inbound to Tyrion up top. Pratt back to Domovic on the left side. Nick Keller now. Into the corner, Domovic for 3, in and out. Rebound tip, controlled by Johnson.
That time just a better job by Andover to control that rebound and limit the Cardinals just one opportunity.
Seabold has to pass across to Rizak, and Rizak tripped up. Seabold gets into the front court. Right side, Echtenkamp back up to Seabold. Double team comes, Echtenkamp on the side, cross court, Rizak, pump fake, drives to the lane. Now we'll dump it off for Johnson. He can't finish. Keller had the rebound, but then was fouled by Jacob Paul. Oh, they're just going to say he knocked it out of bounds.
Keller grabbing his hand a little bit. We'll see if that comes into play at all during this game.
Pratt pressures down the lane and scores.
Yeah, and that's what they need from Brandon. The opportunity, averaging just a little over 2 points a game, but again, driving the lane and getting the bucket. First points of the game for Coon Rapids.
Rizak down court for Johnson. Lost the handle out of bounds. Turnover to the Cardinals.
Rizak thought he had a little bit better path to the basket, but Brandon Pratt did a nice job of getting in his way and forced him to dribble the ball off himself.
The wall up top for Johnson, into the post. Keller spins and scores. We're even at 4.
And that's something Nick Keller does well. He's got that nice presence underneath. He's got a quick first step, able to get open and get the bucket.
Johnson in the corner, back up top for Rizak. Back to Johnson in the corner. Back to Rizak. Looking for room, kicks it out. Ectenkamp for three. That won't fall. The rebound by Johnson. He's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot two.
And that time, Cardinals letting Johnson get underneath for the rebound. They need to box out much better.
At the free throw line, shooting two will be number 23, Corbin Johnson.
First one rolls across the top, but won't find the middle of the cylinder. Nate Rodewald is going to check into the game for a substitution for Andover, replacing Ectenkamp. And Johnson able to hit the second. Pratt to Keller, right side. Back up top. Tyrion down low. Keller spins one way, back. Little fadeaway jumper. That's not going to go. The rebound by Rizak, because there were three white jerseys there and nobody pressuring for the Cardinals. And Keller called for the foul at the other end.
A little bit too much contact from Nick Keller. It's going to be the second team foul, first on Keller.
Cardinal substitution in number 14, Armand Roper.
Quick little jump shot for Johnson is good. It's a 7-4 Andover lead.
Armand Roper Thornton in the lineup for Coon Rapids.
That's Mr. Roper Thornton to you.
I was giving that right to you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Johnson on the right side, guarded by Johnson. It's Johnson against Johnson. Johnson v. Johnson. Up top to Domovic. A matchup you see quite frequently in Minnesota. Keller for three, it's good. And that's a big three-pointer to even the score for the Cardinals.
Domovic able to push it outside to Keller, and he drops the three. A couple of the Andover fans thought that maybe Jake took a couple of steps. Officials didn't think so.
Seabold getting trapped, kicks it back out for Rodewald. Rodewald had it picked by Tyrion. 3v2 for the Cardinals. Roper Thornton shuffled his feet.
A good defensive play by Johnson. Unfortunately, Roper Thornton couldn't convert on the break. We'll see it again. It's a no-look pass. He's going to take the shuffle.
Timeout Andover.
12:03 remaining this opening half, and low-scoring, tight contest so far. Rock out, Joe. Yeah, rock out.
Well, and I think it's in Coon Rapids' favor if it stays close.
Oh, no doubt about it. Absolutely. I mean, you saw after that timeout against Andover in that first game, Andover really came alive offensively and opened their lead. Cardinals, I believe, were up 6 at the time, and they went on a big run. And there was no looking back for the Huskies that night after that point. We're switching up sports night a little bit this week, Joe. We're here on a Monday night.
Well, right.
Tuesday night, sports night. We'll have highlights of this and a lot of other things. National Signing Day.
It's an exciting time of year.
Absolutely. Reds in the house as always.
Andover with the ball game tied 7-all. Rodewald into the front court, watched by Pratt, picks up his dribble, had it tipped away, recovers, and then Pratt a little too aggressive near midcourt, gets the foul. Just the third against the Cardinals.
Yeah, the first for Pratt.
Inbound goes to Lucas Olson, back underneath to Rizak. It won't fall. Keller the rebound, waits for the pressure to clear, and Brandon Pratt will bring it across midcourt. Keller to Domovic. Little pump. Crosses over against Rizak. Dumps it back to Keller in the corner. He's trapped. Back up top to Roper Thornton. Pratt. Back to Roper Thornton. Left side Domovic. Cross court for Tyrion. Resetting the offense. Pratt will drive baseline, find some room, but it won't fall. Great battle for the rebound by Keller, but he was hoping for the foul. And the long down court pass picked up by Domovic. Domovic will get the foul on Rizak. And the Cardinals will start with it out of bounds on the far side.
Yeah, that was a foul. I'm sure
Or
Rizak
on the near side.
would like to have back a little bit contact, as he couldn't stop his momentum.
Pratt across midcourt, picked up by Nate Rodewald defensively. Right side, Roper Thornton. Back up top, Pratt to Keller. Johnson right side. Tyrion versus Corbin. Back up top for Brandon Pratt. Domovic to Pratt in the post, kicks it back out. Roper Thornton left side. Keller, quick three, in and out. Rebound by Rizak.
He likes that spot, and again, he had a nice opportunity. Wasn't a defender on him, just couldn't get it to fall.
Open look for Olsen for three, won't go. Keller can't get it. Johnson will turn around jumper, that won't fall. Rebound tip, controlled by Domovic.
Time a look underneath for Corbin. Johnson just couldn't complete it.
Keller battling in the post and scoring off the glass.
Nick Keller doing a nice job with his body, controlling it, able to fall away and hit that shot. 9-7, Coon Rapids.
Olsen sneaks in. The three-pointer by Johnson is off. Rebound on the floor. Rizak controls, backs out for the Huskies. Johnson can't control the pass. Another turnover by Andover.
A quick look inside by Rizak, and as Johnson normally sure-handed, not able to control that pass inside.
Number 32, Luke Leisner.
Luke Leisner checking in with Dylan Echtenkamp for the Huskies. The shot by Roper Thornton was long. Keller the rebound, the follow and the finish. He will go to the line to try and convert a three-point play.
Yeah, Keller very active underneath, and that's what his strength is, and he's using that here tonight.
Basket by Keller is good.
An opportunity for a three-point play from Nick Keller.
Not able to sink the free throw. It's tracked down by Olsen.
Well, Nick has 9 of the 11 points for Coon Rapids.
Johnson, a good look at three and another miss. Rebound by Olsen. He'll bring it back up top. Rodewald steps to the line, kicks it left side. Echtenkamp to Olsen, back to Echtenkamp. That's taken away by Tyrion on the run. Avoids the pressure. They're going to.
Oh, he called it for the travel?
Traveled.
I don't know.
Husky substitution in number 4, Jeremy Newman.
Let's take another look at that and see if he traveled.
They say, yeah, he dragged the foot.
He dragged the foot a little bit. Got a little contact, too, though.
Andover at the other end, another pass tip, this time by Lawal. Keller leads the rush, and now we'll slow it down. Jeremy Newman on the floor for the first time for Andover. Lawal straight to the basket, the bucket, and the foul on the top over Luke Leisner.
Well, Dio is one of those players that when he's on his game, he's very dangerous, and you see the good athletic move to get around the edge and then hang up there for the bucket. Draws a little bit of that contact. Now another opportunity for a three-point play.
And another missed opportunity. Johnson battling, nearly came up with the rebound for the Cardinals. Rodewald with it, having trouble getting across midcourt, finally does. Leisner to the corner. Newman's pass blocked, but right to Leisner. He's in a middle of a bunch of red jerseys. Echtenkamp gets the chance down low, misses but gets the foul, and we'll go to the line to shoot two.
Personal foul on the Cardinals, number 22.
They're going to call it Dio Lawal with the personal, second personal for Dio, fourth for the Cardinals as a team.
At the free throw line, number 30, Dylan Echtenkamp.
And he's again going to have to come out with his two personals. Marcel Winston checks into the game for Coon Rapids.
And 2 for 2. You know how I love being at Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse, especially when the staff on hand treats us as well as they do. Gary Havelka treating us like kings.
Yes, he has. We appreciate that.
There are many donuts in front of us with maple glaze and bacon. And let me just tell you, it's a little slice of heaven.
It is a little slice of
Long
heaven.
jumper
We
for
appreciate it.
Mr. Roper Thornton is off the mark. Recovered by Ectenkamp. He'll bring it up court, left side, and unable to control it along the line was Nate Rodewald.
Yeah, you know, too many turnovers by each squad, but Andover's head coach Matt Awney, I'm sure, is not pleased with the amount of times his squad has turned the ball over here. Trailing by 4.
Midway through this first half, and take this opportunity for a quick shout out to Laura in Northfield. Hi from Jack.
Jack says hi, Laura.
There you go. This one out of bounds. And it will go out off the Cardinals, so it'll be Husky ball. Left side, Ectenkamp draws the double team, gets it back up top to Rodewald. Three-pointer for Rodewald is good, and that's a big basket for the Huskies.
They needed it, definitely. It draws them within 1 here. Plenty of time left in this opening half, 7:30 remaining. Cardinals with that 1-point lead.
Sam Carver, left side for the Cardinals, has it poked away, recovers, cross court for Pratt. To Keller. Keller moves in, and there's 4 white jerseys there. And a turnover back to the Huskies. Full court pressure. Rodewald kicks it back. Across midcourt comes Olsen. Partially stripped. Tyrion staying with it. Recovered now by Newman. Back to Olsen. Leads it to Leisner. Back to Olsen in the corner. Cross court. Newman, little pump fake. Leads it off. Rodewald at the top. Sneaks through a couple defenders. Right side, Ectenkamp hits another 3.
You know, we saw a lot of that in the first game from Andover. They got hot from the perimeter, especially outside the arc. And now they take that 2-point lead.
8 straight points for the Huskies. And a big sacrifice there by Newman to break up the pass. Other end, Ectenkamp can't finish. Carver the rebound. Domovic gets to the lane, tried to drop it off for Tyrion Johnson underneath. It's deflected away out of bounds.
Yeah, a couple defenders right there underneath with Tyrion.
Looks like Jake Domovic with some cotton in his nose, got a little bit bumped and bruised.
I think he was a wrestler.
They plugged it up and he went back to work.
That's
what you do.
Yeah, it's what you do. Cardinals call timeout. Talk about things here, trailing by 2 now with 6:20 remaining in this opening half. And Joe's going to do a culinary column for CTN website. And I think the first column is the first story is going to be about maple glazed donuts with bacon.
It may be. Wow, these are fantastic. Another reason to bring the family on down to the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse. Enjoy a game and get a delicious treat while you're at it. And then go on Facebook and like the experience. Like the CTN Coon Rapids page on Facebook. Find pictures from the games we've done. You may find yourself, find your friends. Throw a tag on there.
Neil Hennon heard we had some food out here. He's kind of edging his way down towards us.
Highlights behind the camera.
That's really good.
Right there underneath the basket in your screen. 2 chances come up empty, and Hennon gets to handle the rock underneath. And that's a fortunate one for the Cardinals. That should have been 3 opportunities and probably a basket for the Andover Huskies. Instead, they come away empty when they had clear control underneath. But too many bodies, lost it out of bounds, and back to Coon Rapids. Cardinals trailing 15-13. Right side, Domovic drives to the lane. Keller back out to Carver. Carver will put it on the floor and work against Newman. Leaves it off for Domovic up top. Right side for Keller. Keller spins, pass underneath, batted away by Newman and recovered by Ecton Camp.
Yeah, good defense. You get your hands in the passing lane and have good things happen. Andover with the turnover.
Olsen to the baseline. He slipped and lost it out of bounds.
Another timeout called by head coach Micah Gork.
Without the score changing.
No, does not look pleased.
That's a rare thing.
Yeah, he's going to call a 30-second timeout.
And it typically does not. It does not mean good things if you're calling 2 timeouts without the score changing.
See, I told you Hennon's working his way down the court. Now they found out we have donuts. You look inside the Andover huddle. 5:27 remaining, 2-point lead for the Huskies.
A look of exasperation,
yeah,
I believe, on the face of Coach O. Got to keep this one again from getting away from them. That has been the Cardinals' problems. When they get in little slumps in games, they allow that slump to continue to the point where it's just out of reach. They can't allow that to happen.
No, they cannot. They can't afford to at this point. It's close.
Keller to the lane, scores with the left hand, and we're tied at 15.
And that's a good timeout. It gives them an opportunity to drop a play, and they get a bucket, tie this game up.
Last basket by Nick Keller.
Nick with 11 points tonight.
Good movement on the offensive end for the Huskies. Rizak thought about this shot. Now we'll get it down to Newman in the corner. Newman forced to play it, and then off balance, tosses it out of bounds. Another turnover to Coon Rapids.
You know, Rizak, again, we talked about him averaging almost 16 points a contest. Just 1 point, 2 points so far.
Carver underneath, can't finish. Tyrion Johnson there to tip it home.
Some presence underneath for Coon Rapids. That's what they need. Whether it's on the offense or the defensive end.
Making it difficult for him to get across the timeline. Rizak finally does and tips it there for Siebold. He's in a double trouble. Gets it back to Rizak, steps inside, now looking to pass down low. Jacob Paul gets it back to Rizak. Rizak is fouled by Pratt.
That's going to be Pratt's second, team fifth.
We'll see Reese Mann for the first time tonight.
In for the Cardinals, number 2, Reese Mann.
Mann, just a freshman. Quick three-pointer for Rizak, won't go. Keller battling for it. Rebound tracked down by Mann. Needs some help, now gets it to Tyrion Johnson. Johnson trying to get around Ecton Camp and does. And they're going to call Ecton Camp for the hold.
You know, Reese Mann had an opportunity to start during this season, and is just a freshman. Some good quality varsity minutes for him. He's got a lot of learning, a lot of growing to do, but it's just a great opportunity to get in there at a young age and try and lead this offense.
Finally a player I can see eye to eye with.
Exactly.
Left side to Molvik, down low for Tyrion. He finishes.
Yeah, and again, just nice job to find Tyrion underneath, and again, shielding, using his body to shield the defender, able to get the bucket. 19-15 Coon Rapids.
And again, when the pieces move together and you don't have to wait so long between passes and things just come together.
It's magic.
Ecton Camp up top for Paul. Got it back. Ecton Camp for 3. It's good.
Basket by number 30, Dylan Ecton Camp.
11 points for Ecton Camp, leading the way for Andover.
Johnson backs out on the right side. Floats it into Keller. Carver driving. He'll score.
Yeah, nice assist from one big man to the other big man. As the defense drawn inside to Keller, and Keller finds Sam Carver alone inside.
And again, it's because the pass got there. Carver started moving, so that As the defense came, he filled the lane behind. That one nowhere near from Eckenkamp. Quick down court from Carver. Cross-court pass broken up, but lost out of bounds by Jacob Paul.
Paul thought he had the handle on, just couldn't bring it in.
Keller inbounds to man on the right wing. Domovic. Turnaround jumper for Carver is good.
Well, you talked about Sam Carver coming off the bench against Cambridge and scoring 12, and he's starting to find his scoring touch, and that's big to get him back offensively.
Good look to Rizak driving the lane. He gets the bucket plus the foul.
Good body control by Rizak. He's able to hang long enough to get the bucket. Now an opportunity for a three-point play. That one's going to be on Reese Mon.
And he is able to convert the three-point play. Mon will carry up court. Now that's tripping me up. I started with Mon. I was told it's man. Now we're back to Mon.
No, it's Mon.
Johnson
I was told it's Mon.
Underneath. Oh. It was a pretty-looking play, but it wouldn't fall for Carver. Rizak back the other way. Corbin Johnson to the baseline. Blocked up by Domovic. Mon up court. Keller will jump and score.
Nick with some nice touch again from the outside. 13 points on the night here so far. A minute and a half remaining in this opening half. Cardinals up by 4.
Paul into the middle, kick back out. Corbin Johnson for 3. That one won't fall. Paul the rebound underneath. Rizak in close, missed the first, but drops the second.
Basket by number 11, Logan
Plus
Rizak.
the foul.
Fouls in the Cardinals, number 45. Basket by Rizak is good.
They're going to call that one on
Sam Carver.
Sam Carver.
And Rizak for the second time able to convert a three-point play. It's a one-point game with just over a minute remaining in the first half. Cross court to Domovic. He'll take the 3 well off the mark. Rebound by Corbin Johnson. He looks up court. Left side for Siebold. Back up top. Double team comes. He runs through it. Gets the foul on Domovic. And he'll go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1.
Now this is a situation for the Cardinals now in the with Andover being in that bonus situation. An opportunity for them here to see if they can take a lead.
Siebold able to hit them both and put Andover back in front, 26-25.
Nate Rodewald checks back in for the Huskies, now with that 1-point lead, under a minute remaining in the half. A little miscommunication there in terms of getting the ball in. They're going to have to call timeout. Nope, they didn't get the timeout in. That's going to be a turnover.
That seemed an awful quick 5.
Yeah, it did. And again, they found Corbin Johnson inside. Yeah.
Johnson working against Rizak, picks it up. Keller up top. Left side for Reese Mon. Mon underneath. Tyrion finds a little room. High arcing shot is good.
Yeah, nice feed to the inside by Reese Mon as he's able to deliver it to Johnson.
Very active on the defensive end is Tyrion Johnson. And he comes up with a huge steal right there. Leads the rush to the other end. Won't finish, but he got the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. 14.3.
Huskies number 1, Nate Rodewald, his first 16 foul on the Huskies.
And now Tyrion an opportunity.
Johnson at the free throw line, shooting 2.
A little bit of a mishandle there by Trevor Siebold, allowed Johnson to come away with the steal. Gets the foul on Rodewald. And now an opportunity to put his team back in front. 14 seconds left in this first half, and Johnson hits them both. It's a 29-28 Coon Rapids lead. And Johnson, they're going to call him for getting the elbow. He thought he got to the ball, but got a little bit of elbow, and that'll put Siebold at the line, or Rodewald rather, at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. And it's off the mark. Cardinals with a chance for the last shot, under 5 seconds. Carver pressured, lost the handle. Keller puts it up. It's going to come up short, but the Cardinals will go to the locker room leading 29-28. We're going to take a break, see if we can get some reaction from head coach Mike Gagoric right after this. You're watching live high school boys basketball on CTN.
Don't miss the Wedding Expo at the Coon Rapids Civic Center on Saturday, March 19th. Find all of your wedding vendors in one place. Meet photographers, cake decorators, event planners, and more. Reserve tickets online at CoonRapidsCivicCenter.com or purchase at the door. The Wedding Expo at the Coon Rapids Civic Center, Saturday, March 19th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. See you there.
You make me feel brand new. Got me dreaming too.
Welcome back to Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse, where you're watching CTN's live presentation of boys high school basketball. We're at the half, and Coon Rapids is on top 29-28 over Andover. I'm here with Cardinal head coach Mike Gagoric. And Coach, maybe I'll tell you some turnovers. You've got the lead. Talk a little bit about what you saw in that first half, the things you liked.
Well, when we execute offense, we get the looks we want. We knew that going in here. And like you said, the turnover, we get through those patches. We had to burn 2 timeouts because we just stopped executing. When we execute, we get the looks we want. We have a more aggressive mindset when we're executing because we feel confident within our stuff. So that's been successful. Our zone has given them some issues. We got to continue to, tweak. They're going to make adjustments. We know that, and we got to make our own adjustments within it.
I know you and I talked about Corbin Johnson. I think you guys have done a pretty good job on him, limiting him in that first half. Got a bucket late, but I thought that was a good key for you guys in the first half.
Yeah, it's just one half though, so we got to lock him in for another half. Again, that kid came here foaming out the mouth. He knows when he plays us, he could go off. So our guys are really honed in on him. But that's one half. We need to keep locking him down here in the second half. He's a heck of a player, so we got to really be aware.
Thanks, Coach. Go talk to your players. Good luck in the second half. We're going to take a break. Be back with stats and highlights right after this.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Halftime at the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse. Coon Rapids leading Andover 29-28 at the break. And now you touched on it right away at the beginning. A little bit of sloppy basketball on both sides. And it persisted through spurts for both squads. And for Coon Rapids, fortunate enough to get to the locker room with that 1-point lead.
You know, the thing I liked about it for Coon Rapids is that, you know, they started to get down a little bit, but they were able to fight back into it and take that 1-point lead into the break. And I think that bodes well for them coming out in the second half. They're going to have to put another consistent half together if they want to get this victory.
Well, and I think Coach O talked about it, the ability for their zone to create some problems. This is a dangerous perimeter shooting team in Andover, as we saw first time these two teams met, and we saw a little bit. Eckenkamp, a couple of three-pointers, Rodewald hit one for them and helped them have that lead a little bit later in that first half.
Yeah, the Cardinals cannot back off defensively at all. They're going to have to do a good job of just really getting out on the perimeter and making sure that Andover doesn't get those good outside looks.
Well, and for Coon Rapids, I think, you know, as Coach O talked about as well, you know, when they are executing on offense, when they are moving, we talked about it, when their passes are happening and the bodies are moving at the same time as the ball, everything's getting done at the same time, they get the looks they want, and they can be an effective offense when that type of thing happens. There's a perfect example right there. Great support by Sam Carver. He gets the finish. Tyrion, again, just a great game for him, both offensively and defensively. And I've really enjoyed watching that kid play the last couple of weeks.
No doubt about it. Nick Keller, you can't say enough about him, doing a nice job underneath. Also from the perimeter, he's got a two-way game at this point. And so with his 13 and Tyrion's 8, they have an opportunity here to come in and continue to do what they did in that first half and play good basketball on both ends of the court.
We will take a break and be back with your second half after this. You're watching live Boys High School Basketball on CTN.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Whew. So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first. Don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full. Keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Welcome back to Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse, where again you're watching CTN's live presentation, Boys High School Basketball. We're at the break. Scores Coon Rapids 29, Andover 28. I'm here with Husky head coach Matt Ani. And Coach, talk a little bit about what you saw, some sloppy play, really by both teams, but also, your team as well. Too many turnovers.
Absolutely. I think we had more turnovers than we had shot attempts, and it's not going to get it done, obviously. And Coon Rapids is doing a great job of pressuring us. They're getting their hands on our passes. We got to be able to make some pass fakes. We got to be able to attack. I feel like we're sitting back and waiting to get attacked a little bit.
What was the message to your guys in the break?
It was all about the handling the pressure and being able to break the press. If we get some shots, we'll be okay. If we continue to turn over the ball, we won't win the game.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Good luck in the second half. We're going to be back with the second half action right after this from Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse.
Hey, Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey, guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Back at the Fieldhouse, Coon Rapids up 29-28 over the Andover Huskies as we start the second half. Huskies with the first ball, and they will get it to Paul down low. We'll give and go with Rizak, and he scores to put Andover back in front.
Yeah, that's exactly how they want to design that. And you heard Coach Ani say, we've got to handle their pressure.
Other end, Keller has the answer, flying down the baseline. Good passing to get it to Paul in the middle. He can't get it to fall. Rebound by Lawal. Demovic thought about the three. Couple head fakes back up top for Tyrion. He'll take the three and he'll nail it.
They left him open at the perimeter, and he said, you know what? I can hit it from here, and he did.
Typically not a three-point shooter, but we saw him earlier with just a wide open look, and he decided to take it inside instead. This time he says, if you're going to leave me out here, I suppose I can just stick it for you.
And he did.
And he did. Johnson high on the right wing again, trying to reset the offense, get the motion moving the way he wants it. Right side, Keller. And a little miscommunication as they throw it back to the Cardinal bench. Those guys aren't playing. You can't throw it to the guys on the bench.
As much as you like them, they're your teammates or your friends.
Buddies, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But
you got to wait till they're on the floor.
Yeah, well, it's all about sharing.
Eckenkamp runs into some pressure, kicks it back to Paul in the corner, gets it back high on the wing. Courtside for Corbin Johnson, steps inside, hits a little floater, and it's 32-34.
Well, Johnson, you have to be so concerned he's going to take it to the rim. That time defense didn't step up exactly, and he was able to get a little space and pop it short. 2-point lead for Coon Rapids.
Lawal finds room on the baseline and scores.
Got a little lapse in defense, and Dale Lawal with a nice move to the hoop. 4 points for Dio.
Siebold finds his way to the lane, gets the foul on Pratt.
That's going to be his third.
And we'll go to the line and shoot two.
Yeah, three early on here in the second half. As
third personal foul at the free throw line.
Reese Mon's going to get an opportunity to take the floor as soon as the next opportunity occurs.
Cardinal substitution in number 2, Reese Mon.
Siebold able to hit both of his chances. Back to a 2-point game. Mon and Tyrion Johnson in the backcourt. Long pass to Dio Lawal. Gets to the paint, slows down, now got trapped. Fight on the floor, and the ball tied up. Possession arrow favors the Cardinals. Good effort by Eckenkamp.
Yeah, again, quick hands getting inside and tying up Lawal. Cardinals will keep possession when they have the arrow.
Mon back to Keller. Will pull up jumper that's short. Corbin Johnson the rebound. Rizak will bring it up right side, cuts to the middle, lost the handle. Scooped up by Tyrion, ahead for Keller, one bounce, and in off the glass on the break.
Yeah, and Johnson smartly knew that he wasn't going to alter the shot, so he didn't get any contact on Keller. Leads back to 4.
Keller got a fingertip on it, but controlled by Siebold. In the corner is Johnson, and he's fouled by Mon. A little bit of a mismatch there.
Foul, the Cardinals, number 2. Reese Mon, his second personal foul.
So two quick team fouls on the Cardinals here early on in the second half. And we'll see if that situation comes into play as we continue on.
Johnson on the baseline, leaves it off, and it's finished by Luke Leisner.
Just smart play by Johnson. He had 2 defenders around him, just found his teammate underneath.
Demovic lost the handle, but it's out off of Eckenkamp, and it'll stay Coon Rapids ball.
The Cardinals were fortunate that Eckenkamp couldn't bring that in, because Demovic lost the handle, as you mentioned, on the basketball, and it looked like it may have been maybe a turnover.
Johnson drives baseline, dumps it off for Keller. It's snuck between his legs. Rizak on the run the other way, and he scores. We're even at 38.
Strong move to the hole by Rizak. He's got a dozen.
Demovic stripped as he went up. Johnson got a hand in, got it right back. Demovic's jumper won't fall, though, and Rizak has it off the glass. Rizak on the run, pushes it underneath. Leisner got the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Reese Mon.
Well, that's Mon's 3rd. So now both Pratt and Mon have 3 fouls apiece, as the Cardinals are going to take a timeout. You know, you saw what kind of a player Logan Rizak is. You know, he's what a nice pass underneath to Leisner. Wasn't able to convert the bucket, but has an opportunity to earn 2 from the stripe.
Nick Keller having a very nice game, 17 points to lead the way for the Cardinals. He's done it from all points of the floor.
Yeah, he's been dominant, like is both on from the outside and inside, and strong defensively here. Nice control to get the bucket. .43 remaining. We're tied at 38. Armand Roper Thornton checking back in, better known as Mr. Roper Thornton.
Will that ever get old,
Never.
Mr.
Never.
Roper Thornton?
Ever.
I don't think so. Just don't see that happening. Leisner at the line to shoot 2. Try and break this tie, and he does. Second one is short, and Keller has the rebound. In the low post, Johnson goes to the hook, won't fall. Rebound controlled by Siebold.
Yeah, he almost had his miss.
Johnson in the middle, stripped by Keller from behind. Gets it to Demovic on the run, fakes the pass. Basket and the foul Great drive by Jake Demovic. Yeah. Rizak will pick up the infraction.
Really nice. And the smart is the fake pass to Lowell. Took the defense off guard, and then he's able to control his body and extend to get the bucket.
Was good.
Keller with the rebound and the follow. Well, that's a great thing. The Cardinals really need to hit their free throws.
They really do.
Third three-point play opportunity, and they have not made any of them. Drive to the lane by Corbin Johnson is good.
Yeah, and that's one of the aspects that Coach O was just talking about, Corbin Johnson. I mean, you know, they did a pretty good job of him in the first half, but he's so dynamic underneath. And he's definitely a Cardinal killer.
Lowell takes it up strong, gets his own miss, and gets it out to Movic for three. No. Rebound on the backside by Rizak. He'll wait for congestion to clear and head up court. In the corner, Rodewald for three, and that one is good.
And that one bothers Coach O because defense did not get back. They left him open on the perimeter. Got to get a hand in his face.
Keller will take the three from the right side. That one's no good. Rizak the rebound. He runs the floor. Straight to the lane in the basket.
That's why he scores 16 a game, so under control as he takes it to the hoop. He has 15, one below his average. Corbin Johnson. That's his second. Just the first team foul on the Huskies. Jeremy Newman is coming back. His teammates said, hello, Newman.
Hello, Newman. We're such dogs. Severson into the game for the first time for the Cardinals. He's got the ball in the right corner, and he's fouled. As he and Rizak tangled feet, and both ended up on the court, and I think they're giving the foul to Rodewald.
Yeah, it should, yeah.
Quick jumper for Demovic is good.
Number 32, Logan Severson.
It's a 3-point Husky lead. Cardinals had the 1-point lead at the break.
Shot won't go, and the rebound.
Yeah, it's got to be on
the foul
Newman.
on Newman.
Yep.
No piggyback rides underneath the basket.
Especially if you don't ask first. Oh, nice steal.
Rizak lost the handle, but recovers. Now kicks it back out. Olsen. Rodewald for three. This one's short. Rebound tipped out of bounds. It'll be Andover ball. 11:01 on the clock. Huskies with a 47-42 lead.
And Cardinals defensively can't let Andover get second or third chances. Almost a giveaway there.
Rizak finds room and scores on the baseline.
Yeah, he doesn't need much room. Again, just a soft little floater. Gives Huskies 5-point lead.
Severson to Demovic in the post. Turns to the baseline, shots off the mark, and a foul underneath the basket as Johnson was trying to get to the ball.
Calling on Olsen. That'll be his first, team fourth.
His first personal foul, fourth team foul for the Huskies.
Demovic for three, it's blocked, got his own rebound. The rebound now by Johnson, he's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot two.
Oh, good hustle by Demovic to get after the basketball.
Huskies number one,
Unfortunately couldn't convert underneath. That's going to go against Rodewald, his third, team fifth.
Johnson hits the first.
In for the Huskies, number 30, Dylan Echtenkamp.
Dylan Echtenkamp back in for the Huskies. Rizak will take a seat on the bench.
Second one is short, tipped around by Carver, out of bounds. Andover basketball. 49-45. Rodewald into the front court for Leisner. Gets it back into the middle. Echtenkamp out to Olsen. Newman in the corner, back up to Olsen. Rolls it across to Rodewald. Back to Olsen, into the corner. Newman back to Olsen. Olsen has to get away from him, but went right to Echtenkamp. Here's Olsen for three in the corner. That won't go. Rebound tipped around. And Roper Thornton can't control it along the baseline. It'll be Husky basketball again.
Good job by the Cardinals just to trouble the Huskies in terms of what they wanted to do offensively. Unfortunately, the Cardinals couldn't hold on to it as Keller is back in for Carver.
Rodewald kind of crazy looking pass, but it got through, and then the Huskies turn it over and the Cardinals turn it right back. Tyrion Johnson pick up his second.
Team fourth.
Team foul for the Cardinals.
Rodewald floats one up, won't go. Leisner the rebound, he's fouled.
Foul on the Cardinals, number 25.
I'll call that one on Nick Keller, his second.
Second personal foul at the free throw line, shooting two, number 32, Luke Leisner.
Brandon Pratt's going to check back in for Coon Rapids. He has three personals. He and Mon with three apiece.
Leisner 1 of 2. And a foul will put the Cardinals at the line for a 1-and-1.
I'll call that on Olsen. His second. Seventh team foul for the Huskies.
His second personal foul at the free throw line for the Cardinals, shooting 1-and-1 will be number 24, Tyrion Johnson.
Johnson able to hit the first, earn the second. And he hits them both. Pass hit Lucas in the feet, recovered by Pratt on the run. He lost the handle. And it'll be Husky ball again. We talked to the coaches about turnovers.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Both coaches, and definitely
far too many.
Far too many. And key
that
situations.
Message has not gotten through apparently. Leisner turns, shoots, scores.
And Coach O telling his players defensively, got to keep the hands up. Got to trouble them.
Keller turns and shoots for three. That won't go. A foul underneath. Brandon Pratt will
his
pick up
fourth.
number 4.
Brandon's fourth personal foul. Number 2, Reese Mon back in for the Cardinals.
Reese Mon checks back in with his three personals.
It's not a good situation at the point guard.
No.
8:27 to go, a lot of time remaining in a tight ball game. A 5-point lead for Andover. Rodewald To Leisner underneath Echtenkamp. And he had room to get the basket.
Yeah, and he gets in front of Domovic and no defense there. He's able to get the bucket. He finds him on the inside. Now a steal.
But then Olsen throws it right back. Tyrion left side for Domovic into the post. Keller spins. Squares up and scores.
That gives him 21 for the night. 5-point lead for the Huskies with the basketball.
Newman will pass fake. Now back across to Leisner. Into the corner. Echtenkamp for three. It's good.
Again, they're not getting out to the perimeter, and Coach O is not happy with the defensive effort from his squad there. You know, Andover does a nice job moving the ball around the perimeter, but defensively you have to know that, and you have to get to your point.
Johnson for three at the other end. Can't answer. Echtenkamp the rebound. Olsen drives, drops it off for Newman. He scores off the glass, and the lead is 10.
Cardinals are going to call a timeout with 7:07 left, and again, Coach O is furious at his squad's effort defensively.
Well, and outside of a couple of players just not getting enough contribution or really even good looks from a lot of the other guys that are proven to be able to add to the scores and assist on the offensive end.
Well, you know, with Keller at 21 and 14 for Tyron, two really good offensive players. You've got to have some other guys also contribute along the way. You can't rely on those two players to lead the way for you. You've got to have some other guys put some points on the board.
Yeah, those two combined 35 points. Yep. The rest of the squad, 14. If my math is correct.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Double checked by one Howie Shapiro.
Yeah, and that's sad to say because both of us are Minneapolis high school, public school graduates. And Minneapolis math is...
it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's known to add an extra few numbers here and there.
Nothing better. Well, in a 1-point Coon Rapids halftime lead has become a 10-point deficit. Reese Mon charges across midcourt. Pass deflected. Tyrion still able to get to it. Keller back up top. Mon back underneath. Johnson had some pressure but got it. Shot won't fall. Rebound on the floor. Tyrion tied up. And it'll be Andover basketball.
Well, Cardinals have seen this game get away with them from them a little bit. Down by 10.
But at the same
still plenty
time,
of time.
Yeah, a lot of time. They cannot get into that desperation mode and start making plays and trying to force things. Still plenty of time to play your game and get back in it. You have to really focus on every possession, though, defensively and offensively. Come up with a stop, one at a time. Get a stop, score the ball.
Well, and that's the thing, Joe. That's the key is stop here. You can't allow multiple opportunities. Not to a good shooting, perimeter shooting team like this.
Olsen for three. That's short. The rebound by Newman drops it off. Echtenkamp will take it up and score.
Again, you cannot allow that. I mean, that's a prime example of it. You'll give them a second opportunity, and they make you pay.
Mon underneath. Keller leaves it with Severson. Tipped away from him. Gets it back to Mon now. Lawal right side for Keller. Up top, Severson. Mon in the corner for three. It's good.
Reese Mon, again, worked around on the perimeter. He didn't waste any time. He knew he had the open look, and he took it. 3 points for Reese, first of the game.
Cross court, Newman. Back to Paul, falling out of bounds, too high, turns it over.
Yeah, good pressure by the Cardinal defense that time, forcing that turnover. Trevor Siebold back in for Andover.
Mon against Siebold, left side, pass taken away by Newman. Newman leading the 2-on-1. Leaves it off, Siebold back to Olsen. Olsen will drive to the lane, roll it across the top. Out of bounds, Cardinal ball.
Corbin Johnson back in for the Huskies as well. Comes back on the floor with his 11 points.
Jake Demovic back in for the Cardinals.
And Jake Demovic back in for Coon Rapids. Severson will take a seat on the bench.
Johnson driving left side, kicks it out. Mon into the post. Keller turns, won't fall. Johnson got the rebound, got the foul, will go to the line and shoot 2.
Again, so athletic. Able to stay with Andover and get that basketball. There's the miss by Keller. Nice position underneath the boards for Tyrion, just can't find the angle.
Johnson at the free throw line for the Cardinals.
Johnson able to hit them both. 16 points on the night for Tyrion Johnson. Rezak gets the lane, kicks it out, around the corner. Johnson back for Olsen for 3. That one's short. Johnson there for the rebound and the putback.
Just great positioning by Corbin Johnson and not boxing out by the Cardinals. They're letting Johnson have his way underneath, and he puts that miss back in.
Lawal to Keller. Blocked away by Brandon Paul. Rezak running the other way. No look pass to Siebold. Has to bring it back up top. Siebold. And he's fouled by Keller.
That'll be Keller's 7th team foul for Coon Rapids.
It'll be a one-and-one opportunity for Trevor Siebold. His team up 9 with exactly 4 minutes on the clock. Misses the front end, and the rebound by Tyrion Johnson. Johnson drives baseline, reverse layup is good.
And Tyrion is so athletic, able to get underneath the basket, get that reverse.
Rezak finds some room and scores at the other end.
Timeout. Andover calling their timeout here. 65-56 in favor of the Huskies with 3:33 remaining on the clock. Cardinals just, again, got to get stops. Still time.
Yeah, still time, but now you're starting to get to urgency.
You bet.
But at this point, really, with 3:33 to play, they are only down 3 possessions.
This is true. This is true. But the key to this is their defensive play and getting stops. And
that has been a problem for them, especially here in the second half.
Yep.
Not only giving up good first looks, but allowing the Andover Huskies to get a lot of offensive glass and a lot of second chance points.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that's what we talked about, second opportunities. We talked about it from the beginning of this game, that the Cardinals will have to limit Andover. We saw Andover do that very same thing against Coon Rapids in Andover a few weeks ago.
Johnson controlling from the right wing. Dio Lawal back to Johnson. Up top to Movic. Working with his left hand, backs out. Tyrion right side for Dio Lawal. Backs out into the post. Dio steps in, back out to Keller. Cross court, Pratt will drive to the paint and find Johnson underneath, and he scores easily.
Pratt with a nice dish inside to Tyrion. Doesn't waste any time putting it up and in. Lead 7.
Well, again, you want to be aggressive on defense, but they cannot be so aggressive to give up the easy basket underneath. No. Every defensive possession critical now under 3 minutes.
Absolutely. At a timeout Andover here with 2:43. Jeff DeJoy playing the tunes here at Roger E. Carlson tonight.
Yeah, he's on the cutting edge.
He is.
We spoke a little bit earlier about him being the only person on the planet to still have What Does the Fox Say in the playlist.
He rocks it in every direction.
Of course, the Uptown Funk, super hot.
Yep.
Was on display at the Super Bowl halftime.
Big Bruno Mars fan.
So Andover with the basketball and a 7-point lead now, 2:43 remaining. And we talk about these defensive possessions for the Cardinals. Critical. Need to come up with a couple of stops. Rizak gets guys in the air, gets the foul, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Personal foul on the Cardinals.
That's Keller. His 4th.
At the free throw line, number 11, Logan Rizak.
That's number 4 on Keller.
Yep.
You just said that?
I did.
Sounded familiar.
You knew you'd heard it before. 20 points now so far for Rizak. Look at that. Make it 21.
And he does. Sharing the game-high lead with Nick Keller.
There's a turnover. Again, we saw that earlier in this game. Just miscommunication on that pass. Not sure who Nick Keller was throwing it to.
There isn't a person on the team tall enough to catch that pass. Even if there were someone on the near side.
You never know.
It was 10 feet in the air when it cleared the bench. But again, defensive end. It's got to start on the defensive end. Good pressure in the corner, and that forces the turnover.
Well, so that's the kind of pressure that the Cardinals need.
Now they need to convert on the offensive end.
Absolutely.
Keller at the top of the key, into Tyrion, back out to Dio Lawal. No room on the baseline, needs some help. Tried to bounce it out off of Rizak, and Rizak scoops it up, and Keller gets the foul, and he's done. 2 minutes remaining.
Foul for the Cardinals, number 25, Nick Keller is fifth.
That'll put Sam Carver back in the action for the Cardinals.
At the free throw line, number 11, Logan Rizak.
Yeah, and he's definitely not one you want at the line. If you're Coon Rapids.
Short on the second opportunity, but Johnson out-tips Johnson to regain control and put it back.
Yeah, it's strong presence underneath from Corbin Johnson. That gives him 15.
Domovic hangs in the air, gets the basket plus the foul on Siebold.
Basket by Domovic is good. Foul by number 5.
A slower night for Jake. Just 6 points so far. But as you mentioned, he hung in the air long enough to be able to put that up and in.
Hard off the back iron. Johnson got the rebound, slid it to Carver. He can't put it home. And Rizak controls, running the other way. Paul at the other end, uncontested scores.
And just a quick break. See, the Cardinals napping a little on defense. 12-point lead now for the Huskies.
Johnson able to scoop and score at the other end.
He has 22. Now the leading scorer for the Cardinals. Tied with Rizak.
Pretty easy to call that one.
Yeah.
What's interesting though is the foul was on number 23.
There's no 23.
There is
on the
no
court.
23 on the floor.
That was on. I believe that was on Tyrion.
Actually, I think it was on Dio.
Was it on Dio? Oh, you're correct.
We got one of those. Dio Laval.
Nobody from the home team or audience was going to inform the ref. Yep, we'll put that on number 23.
I think he just fouled out number 23.
Rizak hits the first. And he hits them both.
Husky substitution in number 32, Luke Leisner.
Leisner back in for the Huskies. With a little over a minute remaining in this contest.
Drive by Paul, can't finish. Carver there to clean up the board.
6 points for Sam. And Lawal, I believe, will pick up another one. That'll be his fourth.
His fourth personal foul. At the free throw line for the Huskies, number 11, Logan Rizak.
Rizak again on the line, padding his stats tonight.
Not with that one.
Nope.
Shapiro the Jigs. Able to make up for it on the second chance. Carver in the corner, back up top to Pratt. Tyrion Johnson, high post. Back pass is stripped away by Rizak. He drives the other lane.
Is it golf? Is it basketball?
I was just tuning up my golf voice. Rizak with the steal and the nice finish at the other end. And a steal by Brandon Paul this time. I thought maybe if I whispered,
nobody would hear you.
The game would change. Rizak brings it back up top. Just waiting for that time to tick down. Huskies going to walk away with a 77-64 win.
Victory number 8 on the season for the Huskies. Cardinals to drop to 3-19. 8-15 for Andover. There you see the final. 13-point win for the Huskies.
Well, in a tough second half for the Cardinals. We talked about it during half. We talked about it coming back from half. You know, they need to get the offense going, and they needed to stay stout on defense. And instead, those inconsistent spurts were far too many. And hats off to Andover. They came, they made some adjustments. They were able to find a few open looks early. They were running the floor more effectively in the second half than they were in the first. And the foul trouble certainly played a part into who was on the floor for the Cardinals there in the second half.
Yeah, defensively, the Cardinals had some breakdowns in that second half as well, allowing Andover to get second and third looks. And you know, credit to the Huskies, they made them pay for that. And they were able to extend that lead, and that young man had a nice night, ended up with 27 points on the evening. Lead all scorers in this contest.
The season rolls on for the Cardinals. It rolls on for the CTN crew. We'll have boys hockey on Friday. Live coverage at 6 o'clock on Friday. An early game. That's the makeup from last week's snow out. Girls basketball next Tuesday, the 16th. hosting the Maple Grove Crimson, and then may see some playoff hockey.
Playoffs?
For the boys team that week as well. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score from the Fieldhouse, it's Andover 77, Coon Rapids 64. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including the one and only Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.